Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video we're gonna be doing part 2 of the first one. If you haven't watched the part 1, make sure you watch it right now. I'm gonna be leaving it right here, but we're gonna continue, and now it's gonna be for the Warzone loadouts, so make sure you stay tuned and watch the video. So for our first weapon, of course, we have the AN-94. I mean, I've heard so many good things about this weapon, how much it destroys on Warzone, and I decided to give it a try. And let me tell you how good this weapon is. It literally destroys. You can beat guys with MP5s and everything. This weapon will always win, and it's great for long ranges, great for all kinds of distances. But with nothing more to say, let's get right into the attachments. Alright, for our attachments, of course, we have the monolithic suppressor. That's obviously very important to have in Warzone. Now for the barrel, I didn't put a barrel on just because I wanted to put a stock on. Now you can either put a barrel, and the barrel that I would recommend to use is the Factory X 438. That's the one I recommend. But for the stock, I decided to go for a stock instead of the barrel. And I went for the VLK PX9 Pero, which give us ADS and movement speed, which is good for Warzone. Now you can either probably put the folder stock. I don't know how good that's gonna be, but I mean, it will definitely make it more like an SMG if that's what you're looking for. For the next attachments we have is Commando foregrip, 60 round mags, of course, for destroying and taking down multiple squads. Rear grips, triple grip tape, of course. Now again, of course, you can put an optic on this, but you will have to take some of these attachments off, and you can probably put a laser on, but you can just mix it up however you want. It's your gun at the end of the day, but I'm just telling you this is how I like it, and this is how good it is to me. Now for our secondary is, of course, the AX50. I like this sniper, and if you choose to use the Kar 98, I'll show you the attachments in a second, but I'm going to show you first the attachments that I have for the AX50. Alright, so for the first attachments, of course, we have the monolithic suppressor. Now for the second attachment, we have the 32 factory barrel, the optic, the variable zoom scope. I like to use the variable zoom scope just because sometimes it's just the regular scope that it has is still not enough, because Warzone is a very big map, and I like to be able to see my enemies and stuff like that. Now for the stock, you can either go for the assassin's stock, or you can either go for ammunition for the 7 round max, but 4 bullets for me is just more than enough. And for the rear grips, triple grip tape like always. Now if you prefer to use the Kar 98, this is the attachments that I have for it. The monolithic suppressor, Stingard custom 27.6, the sniper scope, of course, and sleight of hand and triple grip tape. Now for the perks, for all the perks that I'm going to be using in all these Warzone classes are going to be cold-blooded. You don't want to be seen by those thermal scopes that snipers have. It really does make a difference. Overkill, of course, to have 2 weapons, and amp to help us switch between weapons faster. Lethal C4, I mean, everybody uses C4, and heartbeat sensor. So now for the second class, we have the FAL, which is a really good weapon in multiplayer. Kills with 3 bullets, you know, 1 to the head, probably 1 to the body. That's what I think. Warzone, it's very good. I think it just got buffed too, so like it kills really fast, and I would really recommend it for Warzone. Now let's get right into the attachments. Alright, so for the first attachment we have the monolithic suppressor, of course. For the second attachment we have the marksman barrel. It gives us that range, that accuracy, and that better control. Now for the ammunition, 24 round mag, I found it kind of low. I like to go for 30 just because you never know in what kind of situation you're going to be on. You might be a whole squad against you, and you're really going to need those 30 bullets. Our next attachment, of course, will be the triple grip tape, giving us that ADS. And for our last attachment, I decided to go for a GI mini reflex, but of course you can probably change that to an underbarrel if you don't like to use a scope or a stock. That's up to you. I wouldn't recommend using a laser just because people can see you. And for my second weapon, I like to use the Damnation. I mean, look at the size of this barrel, plus the monolithic. It doesn't even fit the damn screen. Let's get right into the attachments. For the muzzle, of course, the suppressor we needed. We don't need the tank brake. For the barrel, we have the 7 straight. Comes in handy, especially when we have a guy really far. and especially with the damnation that the bullet takes a little longer to get there compared to a Kar 98 or a AX50. For the scope, we have the dual power scope, the thermal of course, variable zoom, comes in handy. For the rear grips, triple grip tape like always, and finally the tack wrap. For this next class, if you're like me and like me only, and you like to go crazy and sneaky on Warzone, then this next class, it's right for you. To start off, we have the crossbow. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You probably think it's shit and that you're not gonna like it, but think about it. It's just you're running, you're in the forest or whatever, in the mountain, and then you see a guy from far. You just aim it and then shoot him, and then if it doesn't down him, the explosion of the arrow will automatically down him, and if you down him, the explosion will send him right to the gulag. That's the cool thing about this weapon. And then the best of everything is they don't know where the arrow is coming from, so that's even better. So here are the attachments for it. And now for my secondary, this is only if you're going into a room, into a house, and of course you don't want to use the crossbow, especially with this sight, just because you're probably going to lose most of the times to a gun. So for the secondary, we have the 725. I mean, you had to expect this was coming. I mean, shit, what can I say about this weapon? For clearing a damn house, if you're inside a room or something, you're about to go in, knock some guys out, this is just the right gun, and it goes perfectly with the crossbow. These are the attachments for it. I recommend you to use this class. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. For the perks, you really want to use cold-blooded on this, since especially you're going to be running around. You don't want to be seen by those snipers. And for the lethal throwing knife, again, you want to be as quiet as possible, and heartbeat sensor, of course, to detect where people are. Now for our fourth loadout, you knew this was coming, the M16. First attachment, monolithic suppressor. For the barrel, M16 Grenadier, we need those for the long ranges. M16 stock, I honestly love using it, or you can either go for the forged stock, either one is good. For the underbarrel, the Commando foregrip, I recommend this one better over the Merc foregrip. And last but not least, the 60 round max. Everybody knows you need 60 or 50 round max in Warzone. You need them for obvious reasons. So yeah. And for secondary, I don't know if you saw part 1 of this video, but I showed the Odin, and I also like to use it for Warzone too. It's a great combination. This weapon with the M16 is just absolutely amazing. I would really recommend it, and here are the attachments for it. Alright, and finally for our last class, the MP7. You knew it was coming. It had to be on the top 5. Come on now. For the muzzle, monolithic suppressor, because we're on Warzone, not multiplayer this time. Laser, you want the tac laser, not the 5MW laser. Commando foregrip, as well as combined with the 50 round max. The 30 round max are good, but most of the times you're not gonna be countering just one person, usually 2 or 3. And last but not least, the triple grip tape. And for our last secondary, we have the SKS. I mean, this weapon is literally nuts. I love it so much. But yeah, let's get right into the attachments. Monolithic suppressor, of course. Barrel, the 22-inch barrel. 10 round max. I don't care for as much ammunition because I don't need as much. Besides, the cool thing, if we do 10 round max, it gives us ADS, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and reload quickness, which that comes in really handy, and you don't need more than 10 bullets to kill someone. For the optics here, we have a lot of options, but I decided to go for the PU scope. And lastly, for the stock, we have the SKS rifle stock. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed those classes as much as I did. Hopefully you found this video helpful in any way or form. But if you did, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. It really does help. Comment down below on what video would you like to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.